Here.
Mr. Rue?
Here.
Mr. Copeland?
Here. Please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Our God, we are quite aware of the responsibility we have in representing the people of Springfield. Help us to do it well this evening, serve the needs of our people. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes. Clerk will proceed with the first readings by title only.
Authorizing the finance director to purchase 3,850 tons of rock salt for the 2021-2022 winter season from American Rock Salt Company, LLC, for an amount not to exceed $240,779 through the Ohio Department of Transportation Cooperative Purchasing Program in accordance with the provisions of Section 5513.01B of the Ohio Revised Code. Authorizing the city manager to enter into a development incentive agreement, single-family residential development, with Alexander Jared Robinson and Janice Robinson to provide for sewer services to real property outside the city limits. Confirming and approving change order number 2 to the contract between the city and Archon Builders for the White Box Retail Space Build-Out Project to increase the contract in an amount not to exceed $21,841.97 for a total amount not to exceed $385,220.97, and authorizing the city manager to execute said change order number 2. Authorizing the city manager to enter into an amendment D to the engineering services agreement with Black & Veatch Corporation for the primary effluent pumps replacement evaluation and design project to increase the contract for an amount not to exceed $574,710 for a total amount not to exceed $1,364,840, and to extend the completion date to June 1st, 2023.
Are there any questions or comments from commissioners on first readings?
Yes, just one sort of halfway kidding question for Chris. Item 19921, is the Farmer's Almanac predicting a bad winter or a good winter? Or what's in the crystal ball here?
Smart man.
Okay. I seriously, if someone on staff could give us a little more public information about item 155-21, I would appreciate it. I think it has to do with our new garage and retail space there, but some public discussion would be helpful.
Yeah, so actually I'll ask if Paul Hicks would like to speak to this change order, and I'll also ask Paul if he wants to speak, one, a little bit to the timeline, and then two, some of the opportunities that are being explored for the use in the space.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners. So the change order, this is actually change order number 2. The first one was a $1,500 deduct because we found that we could reuse some hardware, so we saved some money there. This increase that comes before you tonight is due to some structural design that was that Archon found and was necessary to do based upon what our Brown and Bill's architects found. So that's the reason for the change order tonight. The future of the garage, or the retail space, they are on pace to be done with the project November 1st. They should be starting Thursday with the build out itself, and their timeline is finished November 1st. Staff has met with, there's quite a bit of interest in the space here, and we potentially could have someone coming in to sign documents later this week that would put a restaurant and kind of a dry goods type carry out for the neighborhood if we can get the documents executed.
Great, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anything else from commissioners? Committee audience have a question or comment about a first reading? Clerk, proceed with second readings.
Amending ordinance number 9190, passed March 12, 1991, and commonly known as the codified ordinances of the city of Springfield, Ohio, by repealing and replacing existing section 185.02 with an amended section 185.02 titled Holidays.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission?
Yes, this is the Juneteenth holiday. Is this the added holiday, floating holiday, or what?
Yeah, so this would be an added holiday into the codified ordinances. This is retroactive, so we did observe it June 18th of this year, of 2021, and then going forward, it will be observed based off of the federal holiday schedule that is released related to specifically the Juneteenth.
Anyone else? Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Authorizing the city manager to enter into an employment incentive agreement with Dessert Time of Ohio Incorporated to incentivize establishing a retail storefront located at 30 North Fountain Avenue to create employment in the city, and authorizing the city manager, finance director, and law director to do all things necessary to implement the said employment incentive agreement.
Move to adopt.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Authorizing the acceptance of a 2021-2022 drug use prevention grant, an amount up to $41,436.71 from the Ohio Attorney General's Office to be used for funding for up to 4 officers to teach drug use prevention education in public schools, and authorizing the city manager, finance director, and chief of police to perform all acts and execute all documents they consider necessary to fulfill the city's obligations under said grant and to comply with all relevant local, state, and federal legal requirements.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a utility transfer agreement with the Board of County Commissioners of Clark County, Ohio, the county, to transfer ownership of certain utility districts.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission?
Commissioners, I just want to make a point that there is a map at the last meeting. It was discussed, or just what the boundaries are of this. So we did have staff make a map that just depicts the transfer area as it relates to the current corporation. So if there's any questions regarding the map, I'd be happy to answer, Chris. Well,
So this is outside the corporation?
this is
limit?
outside the corporation limit. What the red line depicts, where is the corporate limit in relation for
Okay.
this property.
Thank you.
Anyone in the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Accepting the recommendations of the Tax Incentive Review Council for Enterprise Zone Agreements and Community Reinvestment Area Agreement.
Adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Providing certification to the Economic Development Administration pursuant to Section D03 and 8D of the March 15, 1993 Standard Terms and Conditions and the Revolving Loan Fund Administrative Manual Grant related to the CARES Act Revolving Loan Fund.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience? Clerk will hear the roll. Call the roll.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Providing certification to the Economic Development Administration pursuant to Section D03 and 8D of the March 15, 1993 Standard Terms and Conditions and the Revolving Loan Fund Administrative Manual Grant.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience, clerk will call the roll.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Confirming purchases and the obtaining of services for the city and providing for payments therefore and declaring an emergency therein.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Amending ordinance number 2114 to revise the transfer of monies authorized and declaring an emergency therein.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience, clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Providing for supplemental appropriations within various funds and declaring an emergency therein.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience, clerk will call the roll.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Providing for the issuance and sale of notes in the maximum principal amount of $375,000 in anticipation of the issuance of bonds for the purpose of paying the costs of reconstructing Gateway Boulevard and providing for all related site improvements together with all necessary appurtenances thereto and declaring an emergency therein.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions and comments from the commission?
Yes, since I'm always confused on this, where exactly is Gateway Boulevard located?
Gateway Boulevard is Prime Ohio 1. So if you think about the Prime Ohio Corporate Park is out there, Gateway Boulevard is the main road that runs all the way from
Like into
Titus
Gordon?
and 41. Yep, back to
Aldi's,
Gordon.
okay.
And
Thank you.
Anyone else? I think this is a good example of things the city does in order to attract jobs and keep jobs in Springfield. And I wish our legislature was aware of this instead of trying to find ways to make it hard for us to collect income tax for the people who work there. Anyone else? Clerk will call the roll.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Confirming and approving a host site agreement with Joby Aero Incorporated for the installation of an eVTOL simulator and use of office space as part of the Advanced Air Mobility Campus at the Springfield-Beckley Municipal Airport and declaring an emergency therein.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Authorizing the city manager to enter into LPA agreement number 35221, amendment number 3 between the city and the Ohio Department of Transportation in connection with the CLA State Route 72 project, PID number 113792, to provide clarity regarding the funding sources and declaring an emergency therein.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission?
Yes. What area of, South Limestone, which is, I guess, 72, is this project?
yeah, this is the South Limestone project with the limits of Leffel Lane up to Singer Street, which is just north on there.
And it's just the design part of it?
This is the agreement between the state of Ohio and the city. As you know, the state is providing $4.4 million in funding for the project. And so the LPA agreement, this finalizes or sets the state's portion, which is 90% federal highway dollars, 10% state funds that they match the federal dollars with. So it sets that and provides that clarity of those funding sources. But this is the standard LPA agreement that we have, but us state who receive state for projects like.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Authorizing the city manager to execute consultant modification number 329462 with LGB Incorporated to provide additional engineering design services for the CLA State Route 72 project, PID numbers 106287 and 113792, for an amount not to exceed $336,453, for a total amount not to exceed $908,291, and declaring an emergency therein.
Move to adopt.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission?
I guess I got ahead of myself. This is
Yeah,
the
this is the
design.
design service pieces.
Thank you.
that-
We okay?
We're good.
Anyone in the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Dr. Estrom?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Authorizing the city manager to enter into modification number 2 to the agreement number 32450 with American Structure Point Incorporated for the CLA Dur Road project, PID number 104833, to increase the agreement amount by $102,480 for a total agreement amount not to exceed $592,489, and declaring an emergency therein.
Move to adopt.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Dr. Estrom?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Confirming and approving change order number 1 to the contract between the city and Howell Contractors Incorporated for the Eastern Pressure District Waterline Upgrades Project to increase the contract in an amount not to exceed $67,457.17 for a total amount not to exceed $7,998,457.17, authorizing the city manager to execute said change order number 1 and declaring an emergency therein.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Dr. Estrom?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Authorizing the water treatment plant elevator replacement by Otis Elevator Company for an amount not to exceed $266,264 through Omnia Partners pursuant to the Omnia Partners Contract Purchasing Cooperative Program in accordance with the provisions of Section 9.48 of the Ohio Revised Code and declaring an emergency therein.
Move to adopt.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Dr. Estrom?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with Clark State College to provide supplemental police services. Authorizing the city manager, director of finance, law director, and chief of police to do all things necessary and execute all documents they deem necessary to implement the said agreement and to comply with all relevant local, state, and federal legal requirements, confirming and approving services provided under said agreement from July 1, 2021 to the passage of this ordinance and declaring an emergency therein.
Move to adopt.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Dr. Estrom?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Authorizing the city manager and the chief of police to accept the 2021 Burn Justice Assistance Grant JAG Program Award, provide funding in the amount of $33,926 to purchase various safety technology equipment, authorizing the city manager to enter into an interlocal agreement between the city and the Board of County Commissioners of Clark County, Ohio, in connection with the 2021 Burn Justice Assistance Grant, authorizing the city manager, finance director, law director, and chief of police to perform all acts and execute all documents they consider necessary to fulfill the city's obligations under said grant and to comply with all relevant local, state, and federal requirements and declaring an emergency therein.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Dr. Estrom?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
The next 3 items have been added to the agenda. Appointing Crystal Jones to the Civil Service Commission,
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Dr. Estrom?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Authorizing the city manager to enter into agreements with GenFair for the purchase and installation of 15 farebox collection systems with support from GenFair for an amount not to exceed $358,863 and declaring it an emergency therein.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission?
Yes, does this update our outdated fare boxes on our First Transit buses?
Yes, Commissioners, I'll have Logan Cobbs speak to that.
Good evening, Commissioners. Yes, so it does update our old equipment, which is from the 90s. So we're really excited to have these new fare boxes that have some more up-to-date capabilities.
So like what? Can they make change?
No, they do not make change, but there's the capabilities of accepting credit card, mobile ticketing barcodes, not to say that we'll immediately launch with those as soon as we have those new fare boxes, but they have the capabilities to do so.
Thank you.
Yep.
Great.
Anyone else? Clerk will call the roll.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Dr. Estrom?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Accepting the material terms of the One Ohio subdivision settlement pursuant to the One Ohio Memorandum of Understanding and consistent with the terms of the July 21, 2021 National Opioid Settlement Agreement available at the website and declaring an emergency therein.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission? From the audience? Clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Dr. Estrom?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
And Mayor Copeland, I have a motion to proceed with emergency demolition of an industrial structure located at 626 West State Street due to a real and present danger for $80,000 as estimated by quotation received by contractor. And we are requesting our staff to take all reasonable steps to recover the costs associated with the said demolition. I think this is long overdue.
Second the motion.
Been moved and seconded. Questions or comments from the commission?
I'm delighted to see that section added about holding the owner of the property responsible. This should not be done on the taxpayer's back. This is something the owner of the property should take care of and not expect the city to take care of the business in order to keep our community healthy and safe. So I'd be glad to support this.
I'm just grateful that our city staff was able to move so swiftly, research, and get everything done that we need to do to keep our residents safe in that area.
I agree with that, but I also think we recognize it's got to be done quick.
Yep.
Anyone else? Clerk will call the roll.
Dr. Estrom?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.
Thank you.
Anything else to come before us from commissioners? Let me explain, I don't have my blue blazer on like everyone else, all the other men have. I believe it's in Athens, Ohio with my grandson who borrowed my car. So I'm assuming I'll get it back at some point. I know
The
it's
car or
I
the
know it's far
blazer
too-
or both?
I hope I get both of them. I know that the coat is too large for him, so he doesn't have any use for it really.
Well, I have a question for our fire chief. When is our, night out? The community
Might be more.
night
National
out?
Night Out.
National night out?
Are we participating this year?
I thought it was tonight nationally, but I haven't heard anything from our sheriff or our fire or anything like that.
I'll have Brad speak to that. Actually, I think police organizes that more than Brian's crew. So
I do not have a date right now, and I know they're working on
But you'll get us a date and get out the information to the
it.
community.
Yes.
Thank you.
I thought for sure they were gonna pawn that off on Logan.
They may still yet.
I thought you were sure.
Yes.
Commissioners, I just wanted to say a few words too before we turn over to the audience. So this is one of our staff members' last meetings. Paul Hicks is officially entering retirement this Friday at the end of the day. I say officially because he has retired once as a police officer, and then he came over to the city. And I just want to commend him. You know, he came over to manage our dispatch center at a time where morale was extremely low in our dispatch center. We were faced with staffing shortages in our dispatch center, and we obviously were working towards a potential consolidation of the dispatch center, which was a big, big move. As many of you know, that conversation started at least back in the early 90s about consolidation. And so he came at a time where it was challenged and difficult to lead that specific division in our organization. And he did it with class, he did it with grace, he did it with real leadership. And, you know, he rallied the employees down at the center significantly. That I will say a big piece of why some of our employees were most distraught about the move to consolidation was because they knew Paul was not going to be their manager anymore. And so that's a testament to him and his leadership over the staff at the dispatch center. Paul also adjusted course then and took on additional duties with the city even before dispatch was consolidated with the county, and managed projects and, oversaw a giant 25-foot hole in the middle of downtown that is now the townhome project, a $6.8 million garage, and many more. And so he adjusted not only in taking on additional responsibilities and duties, but also doing things that he had not done before. And again, he was willing to roll up his sleeves and learn and develop how to oversee those types of projects, and he did it extremely well. And so just want to thank him for his service to our community, not only to our organization, but to our citizens. And he's going to be greatly missed in our organization. So I just want to say thank you to Paul for his service, and just we were glad to have you on our team, and we're going to miss you on our team.
Good luck on retirement and doing nothing.
Warren Copeland, Otis Williams, 1627 Yorkshire Court. I have just a couple comments to make. Brian, I have seen you have received some money from the American Rescue Plan, and you mentioned the homeless that you were very focused with. And I want you to remember that the South Side is a big part of the homeless situation that we have. We have spent a lot of time and effort on the downtown area, the north side, up Springfield. South Side is also part of Springfield. The CARES Act has done a great job helping the interfaith find places for the homeless people and everything. I think it's time now that the focus goes particularly straight towards the south side of Springfield, because we have a lot of different people trying to live in a small community with the very basic needs. I know there's areas up the street here that are open, that the lab properties, I don't know what y'all plan for it, but I think some of that should be focused for the people south side of Springfield to have some of the accommodations that other parts of the cities have. We have the worst park in Springfield with the most population of people trying to come together to do something with it. So I'm just here to say, you say together, together means this. It don't mean this part or that part. It means the city as a whole. So I'm thinking and I'm hoping that y'all can see at this point, you have a lot of money, Brian, and it can be used to help a distressed food desert neighborhood. Be good to your neighbor.
Thank you for that statement, with which I totally agree. And I think we have plans for responding in a way that's consistent with what you were saying.
I have spoke about street lights in Springfield. One time there was a survey conducted for 3 different street lights. Citizens complained in 2 years about the street lights, and they were put back. The one on Pleasant Street in Western, which is very, very extremely dangerous. Last 3 weeks, I've had 2 incidents where I almost had a wreck. I think that could show that Springfield is really together. If those citizens complain about their section, these citizens over here complaining about theirs, going into their park, their only park, should have consideration too.
I agree with you on that one too. The problem is what are called warrants, and I don't like it, but anyone else want to speak to us?
It just wants you to go to, I want to speak to Mr. Woods, that if you, again, look at our goals and objectives, some of the things you brought up are focuses of the commission. I know we may not move as fast as necessary, but it is definitely a focus. And working with my colleagues, nobody is ignoring the south end, and we're trying to do what we can at this point to make sure that the entire community is together and moving forward. It's our hope that it would be seen and heard and felt in the south region of our community.
It's necessary, and I understand what your task is, but distressed neighborhood, food desert,
Yeah.
banks, redlining will not get the funds there that's needed. The CARE Acts, American Rescue Plan have the funds available to substantially
Right.
increase the availability in these communities. That's the only expression I have.
Food desert, we didn't want it, so we moved on a grocery store swiftly, made sure that homeless folks have an opportunity to live in a clean environment, and the city put money forth into hotels and purchased hotels. I know you know this, I'm just saying it publicly, that these things are looked at and addressed and not ignored. I have not experienced that yet. I just want to say,
Sit on the board with Jennifer.
yes, you do. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yep. And there'll be more to come, I'm certain, on some of these issues.
And again, Otis, I think it's great that you come down and point that out to us regularly.
Yep.
And because it needs to be pointed out and kept in the forefront. But again, I agree with you on a couple of things you said tonight, but the biggest one is we are a total community.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you need to understand also. I look at us as a total community because every neighborhood in Springfield would tell you, every area of Springfield would say they have problems too. But you guys have, I mean, we're dealing with all of them. I think we got a great commission working on it. And with regards to the money you're talking about, it's going to be gone before you know it because we got a lot of things hanging.
Yep.
Anyone else? Yes.
If I could, I just want to report back to my fellow commissioners and to the staff. I've continued some inquiry about the Tremont barrel fill and its potential impact on our water supply. I will continue to work until we get some action on the part of the Justice Department, the United States Justice Department, and the United States EPA. To date, after 3 years of being told, take it or leave it, we have no settlement. And the barrel fill sits there with all of its toxic chemicals ready to seep into the aquifer, provides water to this city, good share of Clark County, and a lot of area in southwest Ohio. So I will keep you updated as this thing continues to unfold.
Hope it's good news.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Their motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Clerk will call the roll.
Mrs. Chilton?
Yes.
Dr. Estra?
Yes.
Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Mr. Rue?
Yes.
Mr. Copeland?
Yes.